I'm Betty Fraley, and I've been asked to be interviewed this morning about the Democratic Party, and I'm glad to do that because I'm still a loyal Democrat. I say that Hillary is the most qualified person who's ever run for president in my lifetime. I cannot say that Hillary has not ever lied, but she doesn't lie daily every time you see her open her mouth. Every time Trump's lips move, he lies. Hillary has proven herself. Hillary has done so much for the underprivileged. What has Donald Trump ever done for the underprivileged? Zero. Donald Trump won't even show us his income tax. And that is just absurd that people will accept the fact that he won't show us where his money has been spent. It's unreal that we cannot see what he's done with his money and how much money he's made. I think the whole thing is a facade. I don't think he's as wealthy as he says he is. We're working just as hard as we possibly can. Nancy is at everything. Mike Winton is at everything. Mike Winton is from Coffee County, but he's a real good candidate. He manages the Sears store in Tullahoma. Nancy Silvertooth has proven her qualifications over the years.
Hi, my name is Helen Stapleton. I'm the secretary of the Franklin County Democratic Party, and we're here at the headquarters. We're open every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. Stop by and get any kind of signs or bumper stickers or just show your support. Both Nancy Silvertooth, who's running for state representative, and Mike Winton, who's running for state senate, have been at every fish fry, every parade, every gathering that is happening in this area and telling people what their plans are. We have our headquarters. We've done a little door-to-door, some phone banking, things like that. The usual campaigning that people do.
And I would like to add the qualifications of Nancy Silvertooth. Nancy Silvertooth has proven her qualifications. I went to the retirement of one of the attorneys here, and he said, when anybody asks me who the best lawyer in Franklin County is, my answer is always Nancy Silvertooth, because she knows the law better than most lawyers. She's a very brilliant person. She is for democratic principles. She is for helping those who can't help themselves. Nancy is a genuinely sweet, kind, and interested person.
Her character is unimpeachable. I have never heard anyone utter a negative word about her.
We are now trying to get the Democrats out to vote. When Democrats vote, Democrats win. So it's so important in this election. We now have voter, what do we call it? The thing that the state furnishes.
Vote Builder.
Vote Builder. And Vote Builder tells you exactly who to contact, and we're using Vote Builder to do that. That is a marvelous. With technology the way it is now, you just do not have to miss anybody. Everybody can be contacted who needs to be contacted. So our strategy is to try to get every eligible voter to the polls to vote, and that's what we're doing with Vote Builder.
And just hoping that common sense will prevail. Our Republican state legislature has focused on things that have nothing to do with the everyday life of people. The everyday family is concerned with education, health care, things like that. And what they are doing is cutting the hall tax, which affects only the richest people in Tennessee. That's the taxes they're cut. If they want to cut taxes, why aren't they cutting the sales tax? Everybody pays the sales tax on groceries, rich or poor, but they're cutting the tax that the richest of us pay. That's not an everyday concern for people. Most people who are upset about the hall tax, they don't even know what it is.
That's right.
Because they don't pay it. They're not wealthy enough to pay it.
Hall income tax will have to be made up by the poor people. Hall income tax might affect 20 families in Franklin County. This is money that you draw on interest. You can draw interest on dividends and savings up to a certain amount before you even have to pay any hall income tax. How many people in this county are drawing enough interest on investments that they have to pay any tax? But it certainly brought in a lot of money to the state of Tennessee, And guess who's going to have to fill that void? You and me, the average income people in this state. And that is a crying shame. And they brag about cutting taxes. They sure did. But guess what? You and I are going to have to pick that up.
I'd love to see the sales tax on groceries cut if we're going to cut a tax. And, you know, I'm just hoping through letters to the editor, people talking to people, that that working people will realize that the Republicans are not working in their interest. They don't want to raise the minimum wage for working people. Democrats do. They don't want someone who is working 40 hours a week or more to get health insurance, and we do. We want Insure Tennessee. Even Governor Haslam wants Insure Tennessee. Because if you work 40 to 50 hours a week and can't have health insurance, that's just not right. That's what we stand for. That's what Nancy Silvertooth is working for every day.
Let me tell you what I don't like about Alexander. He give away part of Franklin County.
He sure did. We're no longer all in the 39th district. Key Springs, Sherwood, and the south part of Huntland is now in another district represented by somebody from over at Lewisburg, who probably has never even been to Sherwood or Key Springs, either one.
Right.
You know, the people don't realize that. When they advertise for him on the radio, they say that that he is experienced and Nancy Silvertooth is not. Nancy Silvertooth has proven herself over and over and over again. Yes, he's been in the legislature, but what kind of experience has he had in the legislature? He hasn't had experience because he hadn't passed any bills. He hadn't done anything. He's done things to us, not for us, just like that. And then voting against everything concerning public education, except right before election, he did vote for against vouchers instead of farm. He voted for vouchers the entire time.
The working class people will wake up one of these days. You know, there's never been a Republican president that helped the working class people. I can remember my parents and grandparents about being on starvation in the Hoover days. I go back that far. And hadn't it been for the neighbors and people that bring you stuff out of gardens and stuff, we would have went hungry. And in 1933, after Roosevelt took over, my daddy got a job as superintendent over this road from Winchester to Swanee. That was a gravel road. And they built it in concrete. Same year they finished it, same time they did the courthouse, if I ain't mistaken.